What's going on, everybody? I'm Jamal and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making pork schnitzel, roasted garlic mashed potatoes, and Caesar salad. So you're going to want to start by preheating your oven to 350 degrees. Then you're going to want to cut the top off of garlic, grab a piece of aluminum foil and some olive oil, lube up that garlic clove, then wrap it tightly before you put it into the oven. The garlic will take about 30 to 40 minutes in the oven, so while your garlic is roasting, this will give you the time to start preparing your pork for the pork schnitzel. Alright, boom, we got our pork here. We're going to individually pound each piece of pork between pieces of plastic wrap. Before we do that, we're going to want to wash our hands because no one wants to touch their meat with dirty hands. That's just nasty. You get me? I also threw on a pair of gloves for safe measure. So to avoid contamination, you lay a piece of plastic down on your work surface, and you lay your pork on top of the plastic, and lay one more piece of plastic on top of the pork. And then you begin to beat the meat. I'm going to pound the pork to about 1 centimeter to 1.5 centimeters in thickness. You want it to be nice and even so you can have a nice even cook on your meat. Once it's pounded, make sure you show the camera. Just kidding. You can put it over to the side and begin on the next piece. And now 15 minutes later, through the magic of editing, all of our pork is pounded and ready to be breaded. So now we can grab 3 containers and set up our breading station. In our first container, we'll have about 1.5 cups of flour. Our second will have 3 eggs. In our third, we're going to pour in our seasoned breadcrumbs. And when we're pouring it, we're going to realize we're not going to have quite enough, and we're like, damn, we're probably going to have to go to the store in the middle of this video. So before you start breading your pork, you're going to want to season your flour. I started with some garlic powder, some onion powder, smoked paprika, black pepper, and salt. Next, you can grab your favorite small whisk and begin to mix all the spices into the flour. Then rinse your whisk and beat the eggs with about 1/4 cup of water added into it. Or on to the breading. You grab your pork, completely coat it in flour in the first station, then you move it over to the egg, completely coat it with the egg, and then you move it on over to the breadcrumbs and make sure it is, again, completely coated so you have a nice even crust on your pork before you fry it. Now you can repeat steps 1 through 3 until all of your pork is breaded, or you can be unlucky like me and run out of breadcrumbs and have to go to the store and buy new breadcrumbs in the middle of breading your pork. And now that I've returned from my journey from the store, I'm going to put on a new pair of gloves and continue to bread this pork. Boom, cracking that fresh seal to refill the breadcrumbs. Oh, spilled a little bit. There we go. Now that all the meat is breaded, I can throw it into the fridge until we're ready to begin pan frying it. So now we can start our mashed potatoes. I'm going to start by throwing some baby red potatoes in a pot, skin on and all. I'm going to fill the pot with cold water and add a big pinch of salt. Bringing the potatoes over to the stove, put them on a medium-high heat and cook them till they're fork tender. While we wait for the potatoes to cook, we're going to cut up our romaine hearts for our Caesar salad. Just going to cut it into 1/4 but keep the core on and slice it into bite-sized pieces. Boom. Look at that. Once all your lettuce is cut, you're going to put it into your big fancy salad bowl, and you're going to put that salad bowl into the fridge until you're ready to toss it. Oh look, our roasted garlic's done. We're going to open up our garlic from the aluminum and take a peek inside and see how they roasted. Look at that, it looks like something out of Dr. Pimple Popper. Now that our potatoes are almost done, I'm going to throw some milk and some butter into a pan and get it hot before we add it to our mashed potatoes. Before you add the milk and butter to the potatoes, you're going to want to break them up a bit with a hand masher or a hand blender. Now it's time to add the butter and milk to our potatoes and whip them until they are nice and fluffy. Then you can squeeze in your 2 heads of roasted garlic and get that all mixed into your mashed potatoes nicely. And you can season your potatoes with a healthy pinch of salt. You can add black pepper if you want. I choose not to add pepper to my potatoes, but it's up to you. Ooh, look at those fluffy potatoes. Now we got our pan ready with about 1 inch of oil in it so we can begin to pan fry our schnitzel. You're going to want to fry them for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes per side till they're nice golden brown. Then give them a nice flip over and finish them on the other side for about another minute. A pro tip here is to have your oven set to 250 degrees so you can throw the hot schnitzels in there and they can stay warm while the other ones are cooking. Now that our pork is all cooked, we can toss our salad with a little Caesar dressing that I bought from the store because I didn't feel like making one and I didn't feel like making croutons either, so I bought those from the store as well. But you can feel free to make your own croutons and Caesar dressing and bacon if you want, but I was just trying to make this quick little supper, and it turned out pretty damn good. And now it's time to eat. I'm going to start by throwing my Caesar salad on my plate, grabbing a big heap and scoop of mashed potatoes, and finally placing that golden brown schnitzel down. And now we can finally eat. Dinner is served. I don't really know how I'm going to end these videos, but I'm going to be posting new ones every Monday. So if you enjoyed, come back next week, and I got some surprises. Peace.